This full utility, because it
Right.
is used in every single sector of the global economy. So you
Yeah.
got the broadest base of functionality and the broadest base of buyer. That's why it's never gone to zero. What do you got with Bitcoin? It's intangible. I can't hold it. And
Right.
if you don't hold it, you
don't
don't own it. Gold is real money.
It
But
is.
here's the thing. We, at this moment, if you look on the Bank for International Settlements money flower, there is a little teeny, very small, but a little teeny area that they're leaving open for digital currencies, cryptocurrencies.
Yes.
Right.
There is a much bigger area for commodity currencies, gold and silver. And this is the only area, well, that little teeny weeny area would be out of their purview, but everything else is inside of their system that they control. And look at where they've gotten us so far. One thing that I have learned over all these many years that I've been in this business, at some point, all assets move to their fundamental value. The fundamental value is really based upon the single most important function of that asset. Okay.
Precious
And
metals.
not what you wanted to do, but what the creators wanted it to do. So gold, the single most important function of gold is to hold your wealth even over time. But
Absolutely.
a rising gold price is an indication of a failing currency. And they don't want you to know the currency has failed. So gold is severely undervalued.
Definitely.
Severely. And remember, it's got the most functionality of any other asset, including digital assets.
That's why all the
So-
banks are buying them.
Correct. Correct. And history has proven, and I've done pieces on this, so I could be off a little bit, but I won't be off by much. But on average, 25 ounces of gold could buy an entire city block of buildings and all as we go through this hyperinflationary event.
Yes.
So there's a huge opportunity, because part of what I look at is dynastic wealth. And dynastic wealth is wealth that lives in families at least 300 years. And there are three legs to it: real estate, truly rare collectibles, and gold. And you can actually do all three with gold. That's not really that hard to do. I've done it. When all confidence is lost, I don't know why, but on average, it takes about 3 overnight resets before people go, I'm not using that garbage anymore, right?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, but you know, this is my vote. This is where I feel the most
I agree
safe,
with you.
along with
No, we
food,
do.
water, energy, everything else. You know, right now, well, it'll be interesting to see what Powell does, and he probably will raise rates 1/4 of a point because he said he was going to do it, and they gave away their credibility to the markets last August, wasn't that long ago. And so they're really, that's part of the struggle for global central banks, is to regain some level of credibility. And in theory, if he doesn't raise the rates, then it makes people think, or this is their thought process, that it makes people think that we're in much worse shape, right? And they don't really want you to understand that. But the reality is if you look at their balance sheet in 1 week, they injected massive amounts of QE money back into the system. So what does that mean for inflation, right? It was garbage to begin with. Every single time they've attempted to raise rates and reduce their balance sheet since 2008, it has been a big fat fail.
That's right.
And this time has been no different. Nope, not different. This is a con game. So if the public loses confidence, that will speed everything up. I can tell you that I'm finishing up as we speak. We're going up to the bug out location, and I've already been doing a lot of work on there and finishing the hot houses. So if it happened tomorrow, I could accommodate 40 people and feed them. And it would be a little crowded because I'm not all done,
Mhm.
but I could do it. If I had to do it, I could do it.
Mhm.
And we are finishing up filling our freezers. So I have lots of long storage food. I have lots of dry food, and we have the hot houses that we can start to.
That's
we should be
amazing.
able to start planting. But
You're
yeah, no,
you're
I mean,
self-reliant. Yeah,
it's critically important that you are
absolutely.
as independent and self-sufficient as possible. And that's the
right.
importance of community. Because
Definitely.
can I even tell you how many people will ask me if I do the gardens myself, or I do this myself, or I do that? No, I'm too busy reading, researching, and producing. I can't do it all myself, nor do I particularly
It's a
want
lot
to
of
do
work.
it. It is. So yes, I'm fortunate that I have a lot of help because I actually believe my work and I put a lot of value to bring that talent around me to help me pull this together.
Mhm.
What people need to understand, when we were on a gold and silver standard, and particularly on the gold standard, you could walk in with one thing and you could pull the gold out of the system if you didn't like what they were doing. That's why they had to take the gold away from us, because
Yeah,
that's right.
it forced them into fiscal responsibility.
Mhm.
Well, if you follow, this is your vote. Okay. So if you buy stocks, that's your vote. If you stay in cash and stay in their system, that's your vote. This is my vote.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, it was really interesting. I think, and I haven't had a chance to go back and just verify exactly which report I read this in, but I think it was the 2015 IMF report where they talked about autonomous driving. And and not just autonomous driving, but setting up the whole system. So you have smart houses, you have all of this, all of your property and your wealth held on the grid. We're at the end of this currency's life cycle.
That's right.
Officially, there's virtually no purchasing power left in there, and
Mhm.
we need to transition into a new system. So they have to get rid of all of the debt and all of the garbage, and they have to really crash the system.
Mhm.
It is that simple, to create a large enough crisis so that when they bring in their solution, the masses go, okay, save me, Mr. Bill, save me. Every single asset has been converted into a financial product that
Mhm.
they can trade. So even real estate, I mean, look at how much that's gone up, but you've got a mismatch in maturity. Because
Definitely.
like this house, I've been in here since 2010. I never intend to sell it. This is a long-term hold for me.